Hello everybody, welcome back. It's your boy Mr. Green Hands. I know it looks beautiful and bright out here, but it is kind of cold, and now this is the time of year that I want to get my compost going. I generally do hot compost. I emptied it about 2 weeks ago, so now it's time to get that process back in order, and hopefully by the grace of God I can make this a continuous, because I've only have one. I want to have three, so one is going, I can put it out, and the other one, let it continue to do its work and move on to the next. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing today, or should I say it's pretty much like dark out here, but it's okay, it's fun. Still got a garden somehow, or do something to help the garden to flourish for whatever you're doing. So stay tuned. Is to actually do a little bit of research. Do a little research for yourself so you understand what is necessary, what's needed. So there's 3 things you really need, maybe 4 if you really think about it. So you need your greens, which are your cut-ins from your gardens, your waste from home, the grass, the green grass that you have, or anything that you have right now, the plants here. This is going to be your greens. So green is going to be filled with all that nitrogen and stuff like that. So that's going to help to do the combustion. It's basically chemistry if you're out here, and it's about 30-1 green to brown. So you can use the mathematics, but you can actually just go out and do it and leave it for a while, and it can do amazing for you. You don't have to follow everything someone else is doing. Once you start doing something that you're happy with and you're getting results, stick to it. You don't have, everything, there is a pathway, but you could take a diversion and still end up at the same destination. It doesn't matter as long as you're getting the great results. But I tend to kind of like go with a little bit of using the temperature, because I do have a compost thermometer that kind of like check the temperature where I want it to be, or where I want to get it to ideally, so it can start to break down. And for that to happen, as I said before, you need your greens, and your browns are going to be your wood chips. It's going to be your cardboard. It's going to be those high amazing things that's going to be there available around you, like straw, hay, and that will add to the combustion aspects of what you're going to try to accomplish with the compost. Next thing you got to actually think about now is moisture, because moisture with this process, you definitely need moisture. You need to it's a weird thing about it. People are like, wait a minute, how is it going to get help with moisture? This is biology. This is how some organisms in here just start to heat up and break down the thing, and that requires some surface area. So there's living things around us. There's living things in our skin. So who am I to trying to tell you everything? Do your own research and find out. I don't really even know what these microorganisms that's going to be do help with the breakdown. Definitely know one thing: the worms do actually help the final process. But yeah, and it's just to start it off, you need to get the temperature up, and it helps to break down faster. So the other aspect is it needs space, like it needs the air in there as well. So you need to turn it now and again. You don't actually have to turn it so often if you don't want it to be done quick. You could turn it like every 2 to 3 weeks till the temperature maintain its state for a certain time, and then you just turn it the last time and put it in another section, or you could just leave it where it is, turn it and just set it and forget it, and then you will be able to find yourself maybe in about 3 to 4 months, or even maybe 6 months. It depends on how long you want it to run for, and it will be done. You will have fresh compost ready for your garden for the next season. So that's really what I want to do right now, is to get this going, so I'm ready for the next growing season. So I wanted to say to people that we all literally have these things around us, because we all have food scraps in our home. We all have them, and why not use that rather than let it go to waste into a landfill or whatever? Add it to the garden. So in this here, I have a Tesco bag, which is a supermarket here. But what I did today, I spent some time basically just literally, cutting. This is a coconut, so this is what cocoa comes from. So it's coconut. So I wanted to make it smaller. That will give it a greater circumference, so it could break down faster, because the bigger the items are, the longer it takes to break down. So I don't want to be doing that. I literally wanted to be doing very quickly and get it up to speed and break down faster. And this is my browns. I actually have cardboard, but I've shredded the cardboard a little bit to make it quicker to activate with this. So I've put it in the bag, and I'm going to throw it in here, because I've already started this one here. I started to rebuild this compost because I emptied it recently. So I want to actually check the temperature to see where we're at, and push it all the way down. Give it a few minutes. But right now it's about 15 degrees, which is not where I want it to be. 15 degrees isn't where I want it. If you look at this one here, I want it in the 60, between the 50, the 60 and the 70. That's where it's going to really do its magic. So as it says, compost thermometer. Yeah, very ideal. So I want to keep a track of it, make sure I'm on temperature base, and check on the moisture, because I don't want to flood it with the water, because if you put too much moisture in here, it's going to get sludgy. So you want to maintain it, kind of follow a little bit, but don't overdo it. I'd rather underdo it than overdo it, because then it takes longer to do and get the temperature up, because you're going to be slushy and mucky. So what I'm going to do is sprinkle all of this. I know you guys are looking here inside of this box here. I had a citrus tree my neighbor cut down from last year, and I think maybe even, I think it was it was this year, not last year, and I threw it in here, and it's almost completely broken down. I think I put it in here from about July, possibly, maybe March, June, July, within that sort of time period, and the whole tree is pretty much almost completely decomposed, and it's doing its thing. And I think it's amazing that you can see the result, because I scraped out all my compost from here. So I want to add a little bit of moisture to this, but not overdo it. Let me grab my watering can, because they literally turn off the watering hose, because it's allotment, so they turn it off for the winter period, because I don't think they thought we we're going to be doing things out here. So just sprinkle a little bit, just get it moistured up. Oops, there goes the faucet part. Yeah, I actually taped it up to kind of working on the budget here, guys. I taped it up because it's not the right size for this, so I put a bit of taper on it, and it's functional. So come on, it's all about getting the functionality in here. So I'm just gonna give it a little mix in using my fork. Some people you have a different kind of fork that they use to turn it, but I like to just twist and turn. And in here you're gonna find cabbage leaves, all the stuff that I have there. And I need to add a lot more green to this, because there has been a lot browns in here, like the leaves and stuff. So I'm going to add a little bit more green to this to kickstart that thing. Let me have this bag here. I have a bag of greens and some paper towel that I was using to dry off some lettuce today. I'm going to add that to it. A cucumber. I should cut this, but hey, when the temperature hits, majority of these are all chopped up already. And then I'm gonna get, right now, I'm gonna get some corn that's finished, and using my secateurs and cut them down. So this is what I normally do. Just try to cut them as small as you possibly can, because I want this to react fast. And this secateur is a bit dull. I might need to sharpen him up a bit. Oh, it's a bit dull, but hey, it does cut the tougher part. So I want to chop it up a little bit. And in turn, it'll start all of this amazing chemical reaction. Not chemical reaction, what was it? The biology stuff. Even here where I have like my pumpkin that didn't do well, it's come to this end. Just chop him up a bit, give him a bit of nip nap. It does take a bit of a time to get everything done, but it's fine. So you take your time and you get great results, because by doing it smaller, I'm increasing its reaction time and how long it will take to completely decompose and create beautiful compost for my garden for my next growing season. I want to be able to get this done and get this ready for my next season. So let me actually add this pepper tree, which I'm not going to overwinter. I didn't want to overwinter any pepper this year. I just want to chop all of them up in here. So I've done that now. I'm gonna mix it in. You know, I do have a lot more to add to this garden. And why not use all of this here? You know, turn it up a little bit, open up those, make it more air-based, and let the reaction start. I wanna give it a little bit of a spritz of water, just a little bit. It was a little bit wet today, so it's fine, just a little bit. And another thing as well, please guys, please, when you're doing your using cardboard, please remember to take off all the labels off them, completely off, and remove any plastic that you have. Preferably, it's better to have brown cardboard than these cardboard that have pictures or anything on them. Go for the traditional brown boxes and remove as much as possible of it, because you don't want any plastic in your compost. When you literally come to the end of it, you want to have less work. So just tearing them up, tear this last one up here, and then I'm going to tell you what I do at the end, because this is quite dry, so I definitely need to give it a bit of a water in. A little spritz of water, and it doesn't stink. A lot of people think it stinks, but it actually, it just smells like vegetables to me. It doesn't stink, and it doesn't bring, only time it will bring like rats and mice and stuff like that, if you are adding like a lot of like meat based. I don't put any meat stuff in here. Literally the only thing that's like partially meat, I wouldn't even call it meat, is like eggshells. For the worms, I crush them, I dry them and I crush them and put them in here. Yeah, I tend to stay away from the meat stuff because you don't want to bring the rodents and all these things in here. I do have a fox that sleeps in this one, but for me to get a really good reaction, you know how low it is right now, I'm going to have to try to fill it up here to near to the top and let it get that height, because the height affects how much temperature you can produce. So I want to get it really high and a ratio. I'm not really judging it by what they say in the internet or on any biology or chemistry book about 30:1 ratio. I'm just going it by looking at it and checking the temperature. So do you research your own self and get yourself out there to compost, because it's so important and it saves you money, man. And why are you burning through your pockets when you can have this big bin of natural stuff here and all your food scraps put in it? I don't understand. I really don't understand. You know, it makes no sense. And what I'm going to do next is to basically have some couple of bits of plastic here where I need to open this one because it wasn't big enough the last time. So I'm going to do that now using my secateur, because I don't know where my knife is. Okay, I don't know where my knife is, so I'm going to use what I have. Try not to let any this plastic decompose into the compost box. Cover it over, let it steam. Try to keep all the moisture, because I don't want it to be too over moist. I want it to keep it within that sort of, you know, hand squeezing amount of liquid. I can't check it right now because I'm just starting it off. Maybe I will change this around and put it there, press it down. And what I used to keep it down is, let's place this a little bit more secure there on the sides. I use something heavy, whatever it is you have that's heavy, to hold it down into place. I do have a spade somewhere here. Yes, we do. And that's literally all you have to do. As you guys can see, it's getting dark, so let's get a little bit of light. Here we go, a little bit of light. So the temperature will increase. I'll give you guys an update on this here. I'm going to try to fill up as much as I can, and let's see how it turns out in the long term. You guys have seen me do the collection of my compost this year, so everybody please get out there and try to do some composting. You find yourself in the greatest place on earth, which is in the garden. I don't care what anybody says. You could be on the beach, but the garden gives you life and food, and the beach gives you sunshine and maybe some coconuts if you're lucky, or some fish if you can fish. If you don't know the fish, you're finished. But it is what it is. But drop some seeds, guys. Garden and compost, you see the full circle of life, and it all works in hand. Every little piece of this thing on this planet work together and make the planet a better place. So please don't forget to take care of yourself and the planet, because we just have to. See you guys soon with an update.